you're just lazy, then guys, welcome to destitution, okay? Eat out of a can. Might as well dive in a dumpster. Yeah, you want to spend $0 a month on food? Go dive in a dumpster. I throw out. Guys, I probably throw out $20 of food a day. Look, guys, here you go. Yeah, now you got free food, okay? Because, guys, I'm not diving in dumpsters, guys. I'll figure out your damn own, okay? If not, you're not an adult. You don't understand food budget because you've been eating your mom's food your entire life. And now you're actually out in the real world where you're paying for your own food. And oh, my God, that's how much it costs? Yeah, that's how much it costs. Okay. And that's why your mom got so pissed that you didn't work. You didn't realize how much you were costing your mom living in her house. Yep. And that's why you got kicked out. No one gets kicked out because they're a positive, productive person paying half the rent. You get kicked out because you're lazy, you're not paying rent, and you're totally delusional. You're putting a bigger burden on your parents or the people you live with than you realize. That's the 100% fact. Eating like a king. You may have heard that expression that to live a life that you can indulge in some luxuries and have a high quality of life, you eat like a king or like a queen, pretty much meaning that, you can go and order any food from any place you want at any time. And that is part of living a life of luxury. Now, certainly, when you cannot financially afford something, you are not living a life of luxury. You're living a life of poverty or of frugality. And so you have to pinch pennies. And one of the major way you can cut cost in life, whether you live in an apartment, house, or car, is to cut your food budget. And I agree with that. I think at the very low end, you're going to need at least $10 a day for food. If you averaged it out per day, that'd be $300 per month. And I think that's at the very low end. I think at the higher end, it's $50 a day or up, which would be about $1,500 a month. And most people are probably somewhere in between if they calculated the food and beverage cost they average per day. Okay. So, but like I say, you have to figure out in life where you're at. Are you in a financial emergency? You have to figure out your budget. Because it doesn't matter if you eat $50 a day in food, okay, if you make $300 a day. You have to figure out, are you living below your means, at your means, or are you in poverty? As an example, I've met people online that are living in their car and they're doing so in poverty. And many reasons is they're not keeping a job. They're not building their career. They got kicked out of their house. They're not working. They have mental problems or drug problems. So they're living in their car to try to save as much as possible, try to survive, or they're living on this very low siphon of disability or Social Security. If that's the case, yes, $50 a day is like out of control. Okay. But you also have to ask yourself, if you're an able-bodied person, you have your physical and mental capacity, and you're middle-aged or younger, and you're choosing not to work, what you're doing is figuring out how you can live in poverty the rest of your life. Okay. If you have a disability, you should be on government assistance with food stamps, subsidized housing, and then whatever else you can figure out. If you're a senior citizen, same thing. But if you're an able-bodied person, young or middle-aged, like I met someone online the other day, he got kicked out of his house for not paying rent, being a lazy sloth. And he was like, oh, that's too much money to spend on food per month. Well, it's too lazy not to have a job, and if you don't want to have a job, fine. But you're basically saying you're trying to figure out how you can live in poverty, how you can eat out of a can, and that's your life? Hell no. Hell no. If you have no other choice, do what you got to do. But guys, I'm 41. I've been in the workforce since I've been 17. Okay, this is my second side hustle. Okay, I've worked in a ditch. I've worked in attics. I've worked in retail, corporate, etc. Okay, and what I can tell you is it took me 20 years to get out of debt. It's taken a lot of sacrifice to get where I'm at. And I didn't do all those things so I can eat out of a can. If I have to, I'll do whatever I got to do, okay? But if I can create a budget, meaning that my income is greater than my expenses, even if I eat $50 a day worth of food, and I still have a surplus of savings, I'm going to eat like a king, okay? Because you work hard, you develop your career, your side hustles, your main hustles, you take care of yourself so you can live a life on how you want to live. If you don't want to put in the work of your life, take care of your career, do your obligations, you're going to figure out, how can I live in poverty? How can I live in destitution? And again, if you don't have any other choice, if you have a disability, if you're severely elderly, there's no disrespect. And even if you're of good mind and body and you want to live on $5 a day in food, do you? Okay. But what I want to try to tell you is, it doesn't necessarily matter how much you spend per month in food, whether $2,000 a month on food or $200 a month on food. It's a quality of life based on your needs, your desires, and your abilities and your budget. So I still feel that many people don't understand that living below your means does not mean living below your potential and trying to figure out how to live in poverty. Living in your car, while many do it because they have a mental or drug problem, it's not, for me, based on how can I live so damn cheap that I basically spend no money. It's, for me, how can I allocate resources, okay, to things that I want to do, not that I'm just getting surcharged on from an HOA, property taxes, utility bills, maintenance, cleaning. I hate cleaning. I hate cooking. I'd rather pay someone to do it. I hate cleaning. I hate cooking. I'd rather pay more for someone else to do it rather than me shop at Costco, which I already have done in life. And you load all these frozen food, all this meat. You get the 20,000 pack of bottled waters. You carry them up your house, okay? You got all these canned goods. You overbuy. You overeat. You're cooking. You're cleaning. And you end up spending just as much money. I hate cooking. I hate cleaning. I'm living in my car, guys, because I'm eliminating costs that don't serve a purpose in my life. And when I buy a home base, if I do, it's going to be an efficient thing that basically I'm just using, okay, as a hub to sleep at night, okay, to have shelter, to park my vehicle, okay, and for an emergency as I get older. Because most of my day is not spent in my car and it wouldn't spend in my house. That's why, for me, it's a waste of money. I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. I don't want to sit on a lazy boy. Okay. And I wanted to be in Florida. So some people, they don't want to work. They don't want to do anything, and they don't want to spend money. There's no answer for you. You're delusional. Okay. You're not living like a king. You're living like a destitute person. And that's why I say, if you're living like a destitute person, the last thing you need to do is live in your car. You need to get government assistance. You need to get a disability. You need to get subsidized housing and food stamps. Okay, that's why I got family members. You don't need to go to the RTR. You need to go, okay, to the government building in your neighborhood, apply for these programs 3-4 times, okay, and figure out how you can live on destitution. Now, again, I got some great viewers. They live on this frugality budget, okay, and they're great people. But I'm trying to make the point, and I know I'm doing it in a very outlandish way, is that for those who are not in a situation where they're too old or too disabled to do for themselves, for those of young age, don't work at a fucking middle to lower income range your entire life. I see some people, they figure out, how can I work for 6 months and stop? I see even people in the electrical union also do that. They figure out, how can I work this fast food restaurant or this low industry job, okay? And yeah, you can live on that when you're in your 20s and 30s. But when you get into your 40s, 50s, 60s, you're not going to build up nothing in retirement, okay? And whether you eat like a king or eat like a destitute person, you're not going to be able to do that forever. For the younger and middle-aged people, if you want to live in your vehicle, live as a nomad, create a budget, build your career, build your income. Even if you're going to eat like a king, okay, if you're single with no kids, no pets, you shouldn't be working for $15 or less as a forever thing. Now, I saw one guy who wasn't working, so I'm not going to work for that. It's not enough money. No, when you don't have a job, you work for whatever you can get, okay, and you get side hustles. But you keep showing up, you apply for promotions, you transfer jobs, and you go higher and higher. And you put in the work, you do the overtime, you be there for your boss, you're not a troublemaker. Again, I think this goes over most people's heads. I think they're figuring out, how can I work bare minimum, do bare minimum, eat bare minimum, live destitute, and then when I get older, I'm going to bitch and moan that no one cares about the seniors. I think that's what most people do. Okay. And I think that's why most people mislead you, okay, into the desert, okay, into destitution. Okay? And they sit there and they create LLCs, they're movie stars, they got a couple different hustles. You should follow their example, increase your revenue, okay, because that's what they're doing, okay? And so, but a lot of people, guys, they're not listening. Eat like a king, live like a king, live like a queen. However, adjust your budget to whatever you want based on your individual level in life. But if you're not enjoying life, you're trying to figure out life, how can I live so damn cheap that I destroy my entire quality of life because I'm not willing to do any work, then guys, just fucking don't even watch YouTube. Okay? Just fucking watch fights on YouTube. Have one of those mindsets. I'm gonna watch fights on YouTube. I'm gonna be a troll. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna sit there and fucking, do whatever all day. I'm gonna make one video. Oh, I applied for 20 jobs. Now I'm gonna make a video about how to live in your car. And then you ain't gonna make no fucking videos for the next 20 months, okay? Because you got a mental problem. You got mental problems. And the last thing you got is a food budget problem. You got mental problems. And you got a laziness problem, okay? And you may even have a character problem, okay? And look, are you dangerous? Everyone's dangerous, guys. Now you're upset. You want to do all crazy shit. But you got to focus on yourself. And you got to remember that I'm talking to the wind. I'm trying to reach some people that I could reach. Bottom line is, living below your means, you can adjust every line item, but you can only adjust a line item so much. There's only so low of cost that you can spend on food. And if you're making less than $1,000 a month, you could probably get a government subsidy. And if you don't have the ability to make more than $1,000 a month, you should get on a government subsidy because you got a problem. I mean, you could pretty much show up to any job, Planet Fitness trainer, gas station attendant, you can make more than $1,000 a month. So if you're not doing that, you got problems. And you may have a problem, mentally, emotionally, physically. Okay. And if you're just lazy, then guys, welcome to destitution. Okay. Eat out of a can. Might as well dive in a dumpster. Yeah. You want to spend $0 a month on food? Go dive in a dumpster. I throw out. Guys, I probably throw out $20 of food a day. Look, guys, there you go. Yeah. Now you got free food. Okay. Because guys, I'm not diving in dumpsters, guys. Okay. So I know I look like, oh my God, destitution, I live in a car, it's crazy. But I keep telling you guys, okay, I'm living below my means to live my best life, not to live in destitution. And I guarantee you, most people, even poor, they throw out food. So if you're looking to spend nothing on food, just start diving in dumpsters, okay? That's your full-time job. You're a dumpster diver, okay? Is there anything wrong with that? I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. But don't bust my balls, okay? But, oh, that's too much money in food. Now, you could bust my balls if I told you got to pay the bill. But if you ain't got to pay the bill and you watching my video for free, sit back and enjoy the show, okay? So bottom line, guys and girls, okay, you're either a dumpster diver, you're a budget monitor, you're a worker, you're not a worker, but it's your life to figure out, okay? Don't count someone else's money and don't count someone else's food budget. Figure out your damn own, okay? If not, you're not an adult. You don't understand food budget because you've been eating your mom's food your entire life. And now you're actually out in the real world where you're paying for your own food. And oh my God, that's how much it costs? Yeah, that's how much it costs. Okay. And that's why your mom got so pissed that you didn't work. You didn't realize how much you were costing your mom living in her house. Yep. And that's why you got kicked out. No one gets kicked out because they're a positive, productive person paying half their rent. You get kicked out because you're lazy, you're not paying rent, and you're totally delusional. You're putting a bigger burden on your parents or the people you live with than you realize. That's the 100% fact. Click that thumbs up. Click that blue join button. Leave a positive comment below. You know what it is. No one's bringing you videos like this every day. And a damn sure ain't spitting truth fire facts like this. Sorry. Peace.